Imagine standing at your own wedding, your dream dress on, music swelling, everyone waiting for you to walk down the aisle. When suddenly, your parents try to replace you with your sister. In a wedding dress. At your wedding. That's exactly what happened to me. But don't worry, because thanks to my husband, we turned their twisted plan into the sweetest revenge they never saw coming. If you've ever been underestimated, betrayed, or treated like you don't matter, this story is going to hit you right in the heart. So smash that like button, subscribe, and get ready for one of the most jaw-dropping revenge stories you'll ever hear. Ever since I can remember, my parents had a favorite. Spoiler, it wasn't me. If my sister accused me of something, I was punished. If I accused her, with proof, they'd still punish me too. Birthdays? My cake had to be her favorite flavor. Vacations? Wherever she wanted. Money, freedom, praise, everything flowed her way. And me? I was the punching bag. Both emotionally, and sometimes literally. As we got older, things only worsened. My sister had no friends. I did. So she made sure my parents forbade me from hanging out with mine. If your sister doesn't have friends, why should you? They said. The message was clear. My life had to shrink just to make hers feel bigger. But there was one place they couldn't fully control me, school. I studied, worked hard, and clung to the hope of college as my one way out. When I had my first boyfriend, my sister tried to flirt with him behind my back. When he rejected her, she ran to my parents claiming he was the one chasing her. Guess who they believed? That relationship died instantly. And it happened again with the next boyfriend. Same playbook. She tried to steal him, he refused, she cried he hit on me, and my parents grounded me for having bad judgment. Meanwhile, her boyfriends were paraded around like royalty. When they dumped her, suddenly they were terrible men who tricked her. The double standard was suffocating. When my sister graduated, my parents paid her full tuition for a mediocre college. When my turn came, they told me they were broke. If I wanted college, I should wait until my sister finished, and in the meantime, pay rent to live in their house. But here's the thing, I'd been preparing for this. I worked hard, applied for scholarships, and got one. A full ride. When I posted about it online, thanking my parents, they couldn't stop me. They couldn't forbid me without admitting the truth to family. For once, I'd beaten them at their own game. Then I met him, my future husband, the man who was everything my family wasn't, supportive, sharp, and absolutely fearless. See, I'm the kind of person who cries when I'm angry. But my husband? He's the type who claps back instantly. He doesn't just talk about revenge, he executes it. When we got engaged, we decided on a simple wedding, nothing extravagant. But since my family lived close, we reluctantly included them. And that's when the nightmare began. My husband went to meet my parents. He thought my sister might try to flirt with him, so he even carried a recorder, ready to expose her. But what he recorded was worse. Much worse. My parents sat him down and said they'd happily pay for our wedding, if my sister got to walk down the aisle first. In a wedding dress. At my wedding. Their excuse? It's not fair for a younger sister to marry first. This way, she'll at least have the experience. My husband almost lost it on the spot, but instead he smiled, nodded, and strung them along. For months, my husband visited them secretly. He played the role of the clueless fiancé willing to help. He let them believe they were tricking me, but really we were tricking them. Whenever we chose wedding details, we picked the cheapest option. Then he'd sneak my sister there, sigh, and say, "Too bad, we don't want to burden your parents." Of course, my sister would demand they pay for the expensive one instead. Result: my parents shelled out thousands for the best food, flowers, photographer, you name it. All while thinking they were preparing for her big moment. We called it back pay for emotional damages. The plan was simple. My sister would arrive last minute in her wedding dress, slip in before me, and steal my entrance. What she didn't know: we had hired security. Their one job: don't let her in. When the music started, my father stood at the entrance, waiting for her. But instead, the doors opened and it was me, the actual bride. He panicked, tried to stall. His phone rang. It was my sister outside screaming. He abandoned me at the altar to go deal with her. The guests gasped. Whispers spread like wildfire. My friend loudly asked, "What did he mean? It wasn't supposed to be you," making sure everyone heard. Inside, I walked down the aisle on my husband's father's arm, heart racing but smiling at the chaos unfolding outside. Meanwhile, my sister threw a tantrum in the parking lot, in full wedding dress, kicking and screaming on the ground when security blocked her. My parents shouted that my husband was in on it, but when confronted, he put on the performance of a lifetime. Confused, outraged, denying everything, demanding proof. And of course, they had none. Guests ripped into my parents for trying to ruin my wedding. My sister sobbed like a child. My father turned purple with rage. My mother begged people to believe them. No one did. By the end of the night, my parents and sister were thrown out. My husband and I danced, ate, and laughed harder than ever. Later, my sister messaged me unhinged rants, calling my husband a snake and insisting he'd cheat on me, maybe even with her. My husband printed it out and joked about framing it. We sent the messages and call logs to the family group chat. Everyone saw the truth. After decades of favoritism and cruelty, my parents and sister had exposed themselves. Now, silence. They've cut contact, and honestly, it feels like the happiest wedding gift of all. My sister showed up in a wedding dress, ready to steal my aisle. Instead, she was left screaming in the parking lot while I walked toward the love of my life. For once, my day wasn't stolen. It was mine, and they had to watch their little empire of lies crumble. Growing up, I thought I'd never get justice, that no one would ever believe me. But on my wedding day, with cameras rolling and family watching, the truth came out. And honestly, that was sweeter than any cake, any dress, or any ceremony could ever be. If this story gave you chills, smash that like button and tell me in the comments, what's the most satisfying revenge you've ever seen? And of course, subscribe for more stories that prove karma always finds its way back.